You know, trees are just immense. They are, without a doubt, the largest living things on Earth. The most massive one we know of weighs almost 2,000 tons. Now, to put that into perspective, that's like stacking 10 blue whales on top of each other, a living thing stretching 25 stories into the sky. And yet, for all that size, they seem to just emerge from the ground without leaving any trace, which, when you stop and think about it, leads to a very, very strange question.
Seriously, think about it. If you build something that massive out of materials you dug up, you'd expect a giant crater, right? A huge hole where all that stuff used to be. But you never see one, not even a small one. So what's going on here? How can something so enormous be built from the earth without consuming it? Well, the answer is as simple as it is completely mind-blowing.
That's right. The vast majority of a tree's mass, all that solid, heavy wood, is built from thin air. It's this master architect that literally builds itself out of the sky. But how in the world does that actually work?
Okay, so to get this, we've got to talk about carbon. It's the ultimate building block of life. And for over 1 billion years, plants have perfected the art of just grabbing it directly from the atmosphere. A tree's crown isn't just a pretty bunch of leaves, it's a super sophisticated, sprawling industrial park designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to capture carbon on a massive, massive scale.
And here's the crazy part. The scale of this challenge is just immense. The air is only about 0.04% carbon dioxide. That's an incredibly tiny amount. To get just a single ton of carbon, a tree has to process over 5 million cubic meters of air. It's like trying to find a few specific grains of sand on an entire beach. So to pull this off, it has to employ a kind of magic.
And that magic, of course, is called photosynthesis. In a nutshell, it's the process of using the raw energy from sunlight to crack open water molecules and then fuse the leftover hydrogen with carbon dioxide. And what do you get? Glucose, a simple sugar. This sugar is everything to the tree. It's a high-energy battery to power all its cells, and it's the raw material for building its own body.
Okay, so picture this. Each and every leaf is a tiny, super efficient factory. Sunlight shines right through a transparent outer skin. Hundreds of thousands of tiny little mouths, called stomata, open up to literally breathe in carbon dioxide. A whole network of veins delivers water, piped all the way up from the roots. And inside, these microscopic chloroplasts perform all the chemical wizardry, making that precious glucose. And the leftover oxygen? Well, it's just ejected as waste. Lucky for us, right?
So the tree builds itself from the air. Mystery solved, right? We can all go home. Well, not quite. Because everything we've just talked about, this incredible factory in the sky, that's only half of the story. The other half is just as complex, and it's happening right under our feet.
See, below the surface, a tree has a second, totally invisible crown, the underground empire of its roots. And it's not just an anchor holding it in place or some mirror image of the branches. No, it's a completely different world with a completely different job.
You have to think of a tree as operating in two separate worlds at the same time. Above ground, it's a sky harvester, pulling in all that carbon and sunlight. But below ground, it's a master miner, constantly seeking out water and those rare essential minerals, things like phosphorus for its DNA and nitrogen for its proteins that it just can't get from the air.
And the roots, well, they're shockingly intelligent. At the very tip of each root is a specialized sensor called the root cap. It's like a tiny command center. It can sense gravity, so it always knows which way is down. It detects moisture, temperature, and chemical signals in the soil. And it processes all this data to decide the best path to grow. It can even generate enough hydraulic pressure to literally break solid rock, then ooze out acids to dissolve it, and then deploy these specialized molecules that act like tiny claws to snatch the nutrients it needs. It's incredible. But even with this amazing toolkit, there's a catch. A tree can't do it all alone. The best nutrients are often locked away in places its roots just can't reach. So to really thrive, it has to form alliances. It needs a partner. And it finds one in a totally different kingdom of life, fungi.
And this isn't some new thing. It's a trade alliance that's been going strong for hundreds of millions of years. Here's the deal. The tree, which is rich in sugars made from sunlight and air, sends a portion of that energy down to the fungus. In return, the fungi, whose microscopic threads can get into tiny spaces the roots can't, collect all those hard-to-reach minerals and water and deliver them back to the tree. It's a perfect partnership. Each one provides what the other desperately needs but can't get for itself.
But this partnership isn't just a one-to-one deal. These individual alliances connect with each other, weaving the roots of many different trees together into a vast, intricate network.
It's like an underground superhighway, a biological internet that connects the entire forest, allowing trees to share resources and maybe even send warning signals to each other.
And the scale of this network is, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. If you take just 1 cubic meter of healthy forest soil, so a box about 3 feet on each side, you can find several kilometers of tree roots. But woven between them, you can find hundreds of kilometers of these fungal networks. It's one of the largest and most complex living structures on our entire planet, and it's completely hidden from view.
So what this all really means is that the tree we see standing there above ground is just a tiny fraction of the whole story. Scientists are only just beginning to map out this hidden world and really understand the complex relationships between trees, their fungi partners, and even between their own relatives and rivals. It's a brand new frontier of discovery happening right beneath our feet.
Which really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. A single tree is not just a plant. It's 2 worlds, an industrial city in the sky and an intelligent mining operation underground, all powered by an ancient alliance. So, if one single tree is its own complex world, then what exactly is a forest?